already tell I'm a little bit behind on editing, so I'm not sure when y'all will get this one. I have a few, or I think one video recorded that I haven't edited yet at the time of recording this one. I'm a little distracted because my birthday and my boyfriend's birthdays are both in August, and I'm working on painting something for his birthday. So in my free time, where I'd be sitting on the couch editing videos or looking up articles to record audio for whisper videos, I've been painting, printing out stuff, tracing, all that fun stuff. So I'm a little behind. A little behind. But pardon my sporadic uploads. I hope that everybody is doing well, having a nice, safe summer. But let's get into it. Put down your phone because today I'm going to be reading an article about the new 7 wonders of the world. And so, thank you, Keith Sherry, for reminding me after I did my Ancient Wonders video that I also wanted to do a video on the new 7 wonders. So, let us begin. In 2000, a Swiss foundation launched a campaign to determine the new 7 wonders of the world. Given that the original 7 wonders list was compiled in 2nd century BCE, and that only one entrant was still standing, the pyramids of Giza, it seemed time for an update. And people around the world apparently agreed, as more than 100 million votes were cast on the internet or by text messaging. The final results, which were announced in 2007, were met with cheers, as well as some cheers, as a number of prominent contenders such as Athens Acropolis, failed to make the cut. Do you agree with the new list? And the first one is the Great Wall of China. The Great Wall of China, the Great Wall of China, the Great Wall of China, the Great Wall of China. Great might be an understatement. One of the world's largest building construction projects, the Great Wall of China, is widely thought to be about 5,500 miles, 8,850 kilometers long. A disputed Chinese study, however, claims the length is 13,170 miles, 21,200 kilometers. Work began in the 17th century BCE and continued for 2 millennia. Although called a wall, the structure actually features 2 parallel walls for lengthy stretches. In addition, watchtowers and barracks dot the bulwark. One not so great thing about the wall, however, was its effectiveness. Although it was built to prevent invasions and raids, the wall largely failed to provide actual security. Instead, scholars have noted that it served more as political propaganda. 5,000 miles. 5,000 miles. Damn. Very long. The next wonder is Chichen Itza. Chichen Itza. And Chichen Itza, not 100% sure on its pronunciation, is a Mayan city on the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico, which flourished in the 9th and 10th centuries BCE, or no, not BCE, regular CE. Don't we call that AD? Or no, we changed that to CE. Under the Mayan tribe Itza, who were strongly influenced by the Toltecs, a number of important monuments and temples were built. Among the most notable is the steeped pyramid El Castillo, the castle, which rises 79 feet, 24 meters above the main plaza. A testament to the Mayans' astronomical abilities, the structure features a total of 365 steps, the number of days in a solar year. That's cool. During the spring and autumnal equinoxes, the setting sun casts shadows on the pyramid that give the appearance of a serpent slithering down the north stairway. At the base is a stone snake head. Life there was not all work and science, however. Chichen Itza is home to the largest Latchi, a type of sporting field in the Americas. On that field, the residents played a ritual ball game, popular through pre-Columbian Mesoamerica. That's so cool. It's so cool about the slithering snake sun shadows during the equinoxes. I love that. That was definitely super, 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 super well thought out. The next is Petra. Petra, the ancient city of Petra, Jordan, is located in a remote valley nestled among sandstone mountains and cliffs. It was purported to be one of the places where Moses struck a rock and water gushed forth. Later, the Nabateans, an Arab tribe, made it their capital, and during this time it flourished, becoming an important trade center, especially for spices. Noted carvers, the Nabateans, chiseled dwellings, temples, and tombs into the sandstone, which changed color with the shifting sun. In addition, they constructed a water system that allowed for lush gardens and farming. At its height, Petra reportedly had a population of 30,000. The city began to decline, however, as trade routes shifted. A major earthquake in 363 CE caused more difficulty, and after another tremor hit in 551, Petra was gradually abandoned. Although rediscovered in 1912, it was largely ignored by archaeologists until the late 20th century, and many questions remain about the city. That's cool. seen the pictures of like the buildings chiseled right from the mountains and cliffs. It was amazing. Okay, the next is Machu Picchu, Machu Picchu, Machu Picchu, Machu Picchu, Machu Picchu. This Incan site near Cusco, Peru was discovered, in quotes, in 1911 by Hiram Bingham, who believed it was Vilcabamba, a secret Incan stronghold used during the 16th century rebellion against Spanish rule. Although that claim was later disproved, the purpose of Machu Picchu has confounded scholars. Bingham believed it was home to the versions of the sun, women who lived in convents under a vow of chastity. Others think that it was a pilgrimage site, while some believed it was a royal retreat. One thing it apparently should not be is the site of a beer commercial. In 2000, a crane being used for such an ad fell and cracked a monument. Oh my gosh, that's funny. That's a funny fact. What is known about Machu Picchu is one of the few major pre-Columbian ruins found nearly intact, despite its relative isolation high in the Andes Mountains. It features agricultural terraces, plazas, residential areas, and temples. I'd really like to go to Machu Picchu and hike up there. The next is Christ the Redeemer. Christ the Redeemer, a colossal statue of Jesus, stands atop Mount Corcovado in Rio de Janeiro. Its origins date to just after World War I, when some Brazilians feared a tide of godlessness. When Brazilians feared a tide of godlessness, they proposed a statue which was ultimately designed by Heitor da Silva Costa, Carlos Oswald, and Paul Landowski. Construction began in 1926 and was completed 5 years later. The resulting monument stands 98 feet tall, not including its base, which is about 26 feet, 8 meters high, and its outstretched arms span 92 feet, 28 meters. It's the largest Art Deco sculpture in the world. Christ the Redeemer is made of reinforced concrete and is covered in approximately 6 million tiles. Somewhat disconcertingly, the statue has often been struck by lightning, and in 2014, the tip of Jesus' right thumb was damaged during a storm. When I was in Portugal, there was also a statue of Jesus, kind of like with his arms outstretched like Christ the Redeemer. He was much smaller though. I'm not sure. Was I just far away from him? But he was, based off of, but inspired by this statue. And it was like, the way the statue was facing was towards the city of Lisbon, not in Lisbon. He was outstretched with his arms towards the city. So it's kind of like he was watching them. I think, I would have to look it up, that it was inspired by Brazil, not a precursor to the statue in Brazil. Okay, attendance is debated. According to some estimates, about 500,000 people died in the Colosseum. Wow. Additionally, so many animals were captured and then killed there that certain species reportedly became extinct. Are you the last one? Yes, you are the last one. The Taj Mahal. The Taj Mahal, the Taj Mahal, the Taj Mahal. This mausoleum. I don't think I've seen the word mausoleum spelled ever. I was like, mausoleum. Mausoleum. This mausoleum complex in Agra, India, is regarded as one of the world's most iconic monuments and is perhaps the finest example of Mughal architecture. It was built by Emperor Shah Jahan to honor his wife, Mumtaz Mahal, the chosen one of the palace, who died in 1631, giving birth to their 14th child. Wow. It took about 22 years and 20,000 workers to construct the complex, which includes an immense garden with a reflecting pool. The mausoleum is made of white marble that features semi-precious stones in geometric and floral patterns. Its majestic central dome is surrounded by 4 smaller domes. According to some reports, Shah Jahan wished to have his own mausoleum made out of black marble. However, he was disposed by one of his sons before any work began. So he wanted a black mausoleum to match the white marble mausoleum of his wife. Yeah, that is a huge mausoleum. That's what happens when you have 14 kids. Okay, so that was it. Those are the 7 wonders of the new 7 wonders of the world. And I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something new. I hope you're sleeping. And to you, I will say